So back again with part 3 of our discussion concerning pre-rapture outline of biblical verses. Here on the screen is my watch time chart, which are outlined in Mark 13:35 and Luke 12:38, where what we've established is that the rapture is midnight. But when the Lord of the house comes, this all begins at eventide, which is the first watch time, disappeared in Luke 12:38, where we see back here they are going away out of the wedding, showing the wedding feasts are in progress now. Hint, hint, according to the disappeared first watch time. When he comes, when the Lord comes. And the key word that we considered in the last video here is analuo, which here is the verb. This is the action of the uploosened, where those who uploosen come into the wedding first. And this is what Paul said is much, much more better in Philippians 1:23, to be together with Christ, which is much, much more better. Where then when Paul wrote his last epistle, he said, I was being spent as a libation, which is a blood offering being poured out. He said the term, which a term in the Bible here is a limited time, of my uploosening, here's the noun, has taken stand on. So Paul is referring to the same context of the to be uploosened here in Luke 12:36, according to the term beginning at eventide, when the Lord of the house comes. So rapture is midnight. So this is before. This is pre-rapture. But also when the Lord of the house will be here in his presence, his parousia. See my video 066. So let's consider this key word right here, because this now opens up more contexts to what Paul is talking about regarding take and stand on, where the little on here indicates the preposition epi in this word from G2186. So where do we find other occurrences of this word that might provide clues to what Paul is referring to? Well, here in Luke 2:9, we see how an angel, key word, an angel of the Lord stood on them. Same word. So here an angel in the superposition of a stand stood by them, and the glory of the Lord brightened on them, and they were made to fear in great fear. So, angel stood on. Then again in Luke 24:4, and it became, in their being goalless, meaning knowing no way to get on, concerning this, perceive 2 men in flashing clothing stood on by them. So these men in flashing clothing were angels. And there are varying degrees of glory of angels. So here the 2 men are in flashing clothing. Stood on. Here's the superposition found again, according to flashing clothing. Where in contrast, we see 2 men taking stand by them, where the stand here doesn't show the superposition. In white clothing, Acts 1:10. Where again here, it's stand on in a superposition in flashing clothing, where this word flashing is in the same Greek word family as lightning. Hence the sign of the sun also that will be made to appear, which we'll talk about later, because the sign of the sun that will be made to appear is after we come into the clouds here. But Paul is talking about something different here, according to the uploosen, remember, at eventide, prior to the rapture. Where then again we find another occurrence of an angel taking stand on. An angel of the Lord stood on by, and light brightened in the dwelling cell here in Acts chapter 12, verse 7 and 10. And straightway the angel stood off from him. Same angel. So again, we're seeing this connection to angels taking stand on in the superposition here of the Greek word, ephistemi, G2186. We're then again specific to the Apostle Paul here in Acts chapter 23, verse 11, the Lord stood on by him and gave him encouragement here. So the point being is that we see many contexts of this standing on, ephistemi, in relationship to angels and the Lord after his resurrection, who was a spirit, who could come and manifest to give encouragement or to give messages, who are called men, okay, which carries the context to what Paul is saying according to the uploosening, has taken stand on, use the superposition here for a deliberate reason, dropping a clue to us who perceive what he's talking about when the Lord of the house comes, when he should uploosen here out of the wedding, showing that coming into the wedding means that we will officiate as angels, spirits. When the Lord of the house comes before the rapture at midnight, which terms to uphead the all begin here, according to the mystery.